Welcome to the screencast for Spreadsheet Basics. In this screencast, you should be able to identify components or the parts of a spreadsheet. Let's talk about what a spreadsheet is. It is an entire collection of data. Two common spreadsheet programs are Excel and Google Sheets. In Excel, we might refer to the spreadsheet as a worksheet or workbook. In Google Sheets, we just call it a spreadsheet. This is what a spreadsheet would look like in Excel, with a lot of rectangles with numbers and letters. This is what a spreadsheet looks like in Google Sheets. They look very similar. Spreadsheets are organized by tab. You can think of them as different pages within the same spreadsheet. Both in Excel and in Google Sheets, the tabs are found along the bottom. For instance, this would be called Sheet 1, Practice, Your Own Formula, and a sample page. The building block of a spreadsheet is called a cell. Each cell holds one piece of data. In our spreadsheet, those are the rectangles. So this is a cell, this is a cell, and that's a cell. The horizontal collection of cells is called a row. Each row is identified by a number. This is what we would call row 1. All of these cells on the horizontal. This would be row 5. This would be row 9. The columns are the vertical collection of cells. Each column is identified with a letter. This would be column A, column D, column H. So each cell will have a name or address, and we name it by column and row. For example, cell B5 is the cell in column B and row 5. This is where cell B5 would be on our spreadsheet. Row 5, column B. This cell has a name or an address called B5. There are many ways to input data into a cell. The first way is manual input. That is when the user deliberately puts data into a cell. So for instance, if I was going to put data in cell B5, I would make sure that the cell is selected and I would type in a number or any other data that I wanted. A formula is another way to generate data. It is an equation based off of multiple cells. You would type the formula into the formula bar. The formula bar is found above the spreadsheet. In this case, because I'm entering data, it would just be, I would be entering 5 to the formula bar and I would hit enter. And there is my data. If I wanted to multiply this value by 10, I would pick another cell, let's say D2. In order to indicate it's a formula, I would first type the equal sign. Then I would either type the address or click in the cell, B5, and I would multiply that using the star by 10. When I hit enter, our output would be 50. Output is the cell with a value that was calculated based on the data from other cells. The interesting thing about a spreadsheet is if I decide to change my data from 5 to, let's say, 7 and hit enter, it automatically changes the output because I used a formula. Your Practice tab has some tasks we would like you to practice before you use your own formula. So for instance, in cell C5, I would like for you to add the values of x and y. I would like for you to add the 4 and the 5. We're going to do that using our cells. In the formula bar, I would first type an equal sign to indicate that I'm using a formula. Then you could either click on cell A5 or type A5. I am going to add that to cell B5. So here's my formula. When I hit enter, the output is 9. As you complete this performance task, you must complete the spreadsheet using formulas, and then you will practice with your own formula. So to conclude, after watching the screencast, you should be able to identify the components or parts of a spreadsheet and how you're going to use that in your performance task.